Hi guys, my fifth test on the YOLOBOX Pro, and I'm still into the green screen. Everything with the green screen is working perfectly, don't get me wrong. Once you've sorted it out within 5 minutes, you know what you're doing. You put your backgrounds on your SD card before you start, and then all you've got to do is easy to switch, just press background and you can change your settings. Beautiful, easy peasy. Made a lovely test video of about 10-15 minutes the other day, or 20 minutes, and played it. I hadn't seen it because I made it on the YOLOBOX. I never had the computer with me, and when I watched it there was a bit of flickering, a bit of stuttering. Every now and then there was a bit of stuttering. So I'm determined to get rid of that stuttering. Now in the green screen settings there's two slides, and the default set, they set when you shut the machine off, they actually set this up in the default setting, which is the correct setting for what I filmed that day. So I decided to play about with the settings, and a couple of times I've played about with them, and I've done short videos and they've become perfect, no stuttering. But when I go back to reproduce that, I get stuttering, because you don't know where you are with the sliders. There's no grading on them, there's no lines or minutes or times or spaces. You just slide and you hope that you're in the same position you was in last time. Well, a couple of minutes ago I made a perfect one, and I was interrupted with a phone call off my son, and I had the phone in my hand. The wife gave it to me, and we were talking about a private conversation while I was switching over. And then when I'd finished, I went downstairs and looked at Facebook, and it was perfect, bar for me on the phone with a private conversation, so I had to delete it. And when I went back up, I hadn't shut the box off, the YOLOBOX off, so I thought that it would still be on the setting that I put it, but it must be time based as well, because when I went back in here it switched back to the default setting. So I'm hoping now I put it something similar, and I'm hoping I've actually got it. So here goes, we're going to try and switch over without. That's your first one, lads. Now I'm not going to beat about the bush, I'm going to keep going. Nice little beach scenes. Yeah, that'll keep us happy, keep my head moving. Why did I switch that off? Because it's right up where the done button is. It's done it again. They're too close together. Bookcase again, lads. Yes, the bookcases are okay. Keep looking for stuttering, lads. You'll see a little bit of a blimp when I actually change the background, because it isn't actually streamless. It should be streamless, but it's not. I probably knocked it out of streamless by using the sliders. But I want to get rid of this stutter, this continuous stutter. A few other people have picked it up on mine and somebody else's video, and there's only one way to get rid of it, is find out where it's coming from, and chop his head off. Another bookcase, a bit on the dark side, this one. Yes, a bit darker. What it's going to look like in a full screen, I don't know. Yeah, it's not too bad. And guys, excuse the shaving. I'm a week and a half into growing another beard. I made a mistake with my hair, so I decided to grow a beard at the same time as my hair grows. I can cut it all at the same time. But forget about the beard, let's get on with the work in hand. Indoor set it now. An indoor one again with a 80s style settee, material, not leather, and a leather chair alongside it. You can see it's 80s. Swansea Castle lads. I'm moving about because if you're going to cause stuttering, this is the way to cause stuttering. I'd want to cause stuttering. I can cause stuttering if I went earlier on, but I want to do away with it now. We'll have a blue sky one. Yes. Nothing wrong with a nice blue sky with some white clouds behind you. Yeah, and looking at that, I'm looking at my camera now. I still got a green background on my camera. Looking at this one, I can see the blue screen. But I've got to look at my camera for you to see me looking at you. We'll do another blue screen, nice sky. Yes, you can't beat it. Nice white clouds against a blue background. Flowered background, do you like flowered backgrounds? You can't beat it, it's too red though, isn't it? Too much red. There's a couple of fancy stuff there. How do you like the breaking news one? That's what we like. We like the breaking news one, guys. From CNN, I think it was. I nicked it. Right then. My bookcase. Which is good. And the real background, my own background. This is the background to the room that I'm in, without the green screen. So we'll do another two, I think. This is the oil tanker, the British resource. The British Tanker Company it was. Not BP. BP own it now, but it was the British Tanker Company in them days. 1953 I joined that. In the Queen's Dock, in the lock gates I got on it, with a postman's uniform. I was a telegraph boy. I wasn't 16. And I'd asked the skipper and he'd asked me to take a note down from the pole, what we call the shipping pool. I forged a letter from my parents and they took it to the pole. And they gave me my first book. And I went over there and I'm a bit late, with my post office uniform on, and I had to jump on a couple of feet because we were in the lock gates. It was on its way out, and then we were out for 9 months without. You're not allowed to leave the ship until it enters a British port, and I was out there for 9 months. Went right around the world in that 9 months. That was before they blocked the Suez Canal. We went through the Suez Canal a couple of times, and it was a quick trip, the Suez Canal. But then, I think it was 55, he blocked it. The leader of Egypt blocked it, sunk a few ships in it. So there started the age of the supertanker. They were building oil tankers 10 times bigger than this British Resource, which was a record at the time. And they had to go around the Cape, and they had to go right around to get to Kuwait and all them places in the Red Sea. They had to go right around. So it wasn't worth them using the small ones. They couldn't carry enough oil. Anyway, that's enough of that History Channel. Let's have a look. I'm going to pack this in now because I'm making a bit of food for the wife. This is the bridge on what we call the Swansea Slip Bridge. It's not there anymore. The council decided, because it needed a few repairs, small repairs, but they estimate the tenders that they had were so, 14,000 this and 140,000 that. So they decided it was cheaper to pull it down. They've taken the bridge away, and it's just lying on the promenade now, a few miles further down the road. People can walk over it, but it's just on the road. And that was Swansea. We haven't got a Blackpool Tower in Swansea. That was our Blackpool Tower. The two parapets are still up. They look a mess. There's scaffolding around them. And the people of Swansea are not happy about that decision. And let's have a look here. Yeah, I'll have to do the canal for Brian Owen, my mate. No, what did I do? I spoiled that one then. No, didn't change it. That's the canal for Brian Owen. Well guys, I might have stopped the stuttering. If I have, I think I know exactly where we are in the settings, but in all likelihood we're back where we started. I'll go back to the green screen now. Yeah, you can see where we are. There's the green screen, lads. I hope I can come to some conclusion this time. I've spent hours, in fact I spent all afternoon trying to get this right. There's no gauges on the two sliders, where you can move a fraction, moves a fraction. I'm only going by sight. And then when you go back, it goes back to the default settings. So I'm going to leave you now, guys. So arrivederci, bon voyage, sprechen die Deutsch, speak die Scouse, and the Black Country. My friend Freddie Phillips from the Black Country left us a few years back. See you guys.